as a general pediatrician. What I know is neglect, abuse to children affects brain development, social development. 2/3 of every mental health patient has some type of abuse, neglect history. Intervening sooner gives hope in a place where people don't want to talk about. The Dickerson Children's Advocacy Center, once you see what it does, I think you'll be compelled to help as any way you can. It's that important. The most important work.
Since 1992, the Dickerson Children's Advocacy Center has provided a safe and caring environment for children affected by physical and sexual abuse, drug endangerment, or the witnessing of violence.
I think cases that involve children just pull at our heartstrings, you know. These investigations are highly sensitive, highly uncomfortable sometimes when you start talking about kids, and they don't always have a voice, an advocate.
Children cases are the toughest cases you can try. Emotionally, it takes a lot out of both law enforcement and the prosecutor, just prepping it. It's because you want to protect that child and you know the child's been victimized. They're scared and you have to earn their trust, and some adult has betrayed that trust. And you need a professional, and that's where Dickerson Center is critical.
Through evidence-based, trauma-focused therapy, children have the chance to tell their story and begin the sometimes long process of healing and recovery.
¿La jirafa te gusta? ¿Qué color es la jirafa?
Amarilla.
Amarillo es la jirafa, ajá.
Referrals can come from teachers or other mandated reporters who notice a bruise or something out of the ordinary. A full forensic interview, including a head-to-toe well check, is followed by therapy services, modeled on programs that work with caregivers and parents as well as children.
The Dickerson Center is trying to take some of the burden that the teachers are seeing now. Now that students are back, some of them are acting in a way and acting out in a way that they never have before. And whether you see that in gun violence or you see that in unusual, erratic behavior in our schools, it really has exposed how children dealing with stress outside the home are unable to cope because they're having to deal with internal things they've experienced before.
Whether the effects of trauma are immediate and acute or surface years later, they put pressure on society as a whole, straining teachers, first responders, and social services. The Dickerson Children's Advocacy Center helps alleviate that pressure, working with law enforcement to respond to and limit further trauma.
The last 4 months, we've had 3 major cases that I can think of. In April, we had an 80-year sentence for a child who was sexually assaulted. May, we had CSC first degree, 32 years. And then last month, we had a sexual exploitation, and that was a 25-year sentence. Those were Dickerson kids. And that, like I said, that's just the last 4 months.
Child neglect and abuse does not discriminate, and unfortunately can be found in every community, in every segment of society. Recent legislation, signed by the governor, now mandates all allegations of child abuse and neglect be met with evaluation and assessment at a children's advocacy center.
With that, legislation is recognizing that we need to interview, evaluate, address certain situations more, and with that, that means greater need for child advocacy centers. And with that, more help, more support from the community.
I don't think many people know that there are groups like this out there and how critical both law enforcement and prosecutors see them as. We need them for the sheriff and prosecutors to keep people safe and to make sure kids heal. We need this.
A lot of people may just see that name and see a fundraiser or something about them and think they're just a regular nonprofit that pitches in to help the community. They certainly do that, but they're great partners. You know, they're stakeholders in this community. They're our neighbors, and it's not a lot of introductions when we work together. It's like, let's go to work and make sure these kids are taken care of.
If the Dickerson Center doesn't exist, resources on the community increase, emergency room visits, law enforcement involvement, social workers, the burdens put on them, and it goes from hopeful to almost hopeless. And so that's what keeps people around here working.